Latrell is a 14-year-old Indigenous student attending Red Rock High in Western Sydney. Latrell often feels like his voice is not heard. Latrell often takes his frustrations out on his teachers and fellow students by being verbally abusive. For example, when given a written task in English last week, Latrell swore at the teacher, threw his book on the ground, and didn't respond to any instructions for the rest of the lesson. This off-task behavior has been shown to have a negative impact on academic achievement. However, he shows a deep interest in sport and cultural drawings and looks forward to PDHPE lessons. For example, he is always in attendance on Wednesdays, which is sports day, and he excels in cricket. Latrell is being diagnosed with anxiety, which often makes him feel uncomfortable in a social setting, leading him to alienating himself around the school during recess and lunch. Furthermore, he attends school a maximum of 2 days a week. This may be due to Latrell's diagnosed anxiety disorder, which accounts for approximately 50% of clinically referred youth displaying school refusal. Our group will now present strategies on how to help Latrell.
After growing concern over Latrell's welfare and learning environment, Red Rock's headmasters called upon Councillor Sean to conduct a meeting with Latrell's teachers to come up with some classroom strategies to help Latrell's learning.
G'day guys, so I called this meeting today because as you're aware the headmaster has expressed some major concerns with Latrell. All of you teach Latrell and I'm just a bit concerned for his welfare and wanting to suss out a few things that you've noticed in his class and let me know what you've noticed of him.
In English class, I've been noticing that Latrell does not want to do any written work I give him. However, he's more than happy to talk about the topic to his neighbour. He'll just talk all lesson. However, sometimes at the start of class, he'll look nervous and disengage entirely from the lesson. He'll just sit there looking out the window and not talk to anyone.
So as Latrell's food science teacher, I've noticed he's very fidgety in class. He's got a short fuse when confronted by other classmates or myself. And he's also very easily set off. So I'm thinking that he's got some level of anxiety or mental health issues that need to be addressed. I've also noticed that he generally wears the same clothes to school. I've noticed he's got a few holes in his shirt and he wears that shirt very regularly. So whether maybe he doesn't have the finance to pay for these clothes or if he's just got limited stock, I'm not sure. So I think that needs to be addressed. Also, he regularly doesn't turn up to school with much food, being reported by his classmates, and tends to eat food during our lessons. So I think that also needs to be addressed.
Yep. As Latrell's PDHPE teacher, I've noticed that Latrell often alienates himself in theory classroom work, but he excels at a practical level. Often Latrell gets frustrated in practical lessons though and takes his frustrations out on myself and the teachers and often name calls and bullies other students as well.
I think as teachers it would be best if we all look at some ecological theories as it sounds like Latrell is facing multiple external influences that are causing him to behave this manner. And I think that if we look at these multiple levels of ecological theories, we'll be able to find the best solutions for him.
Latrell's absence from school can be heavily linked to his mental health, in particular his anxieties. Studies show that mental health has a large impact on both students' academic achievements and willingness to participate in classroom activities. However, there is no clear-cut answer to how to handle mental health and anxiety, as each case from student to student differs. And this can be explained thanks to ecological theories that show that there are a range of external resources that affect students' mental health. Due to this, each of Latrell's teachers have taken action on discussing to Latrell and his family in consultation with myself to form effective strategies that can assist Latrell in improving his overall schooling experience. One example we are exploring is to tailor lessons to Indigenous ways of knowledges. This strategy has been trialled and has proven to work in increasing not only academic results, but more importantly, students' participation and enjoyment in these subjects. Latrell's teachers and myself will continue to implement these strategies in accordance to ecological theories to improve both his school participation, but more importantly, his mental health.
Strategies to help Latrell in English class. After our team meeting, I have researched ecological theory and now realise there are some strategies I can employ that could benefit Latrell. Firstly, I will have a one-on-one meeting with Latrell to discuss what he would like to learn about in class and how I could improve my English teaching. And following the advice of Counsellor Sean and using Latrell's input, I will incorporate culturally significant texts. It has been shown that culturally relevant texts improve students' comprehension as they are able to make clearer connections and interpretations which lead to increased motivation. After the first meeting with Latrell, I will ask if Latrell's caregivers can join us for the next meeting. By having significant people in the students' lives allowed to engage in the planning process is known as protective factors. These family aspects have been shown to be a source of inspiration and motivation to students. Also, by involving caregivers and drawing on Latrell's strengths by incorporating the culturally responsive texts shows a culturally responsive pedagogy and takes into consideration Latrell's ecology. Furthermore, this collaboration with Latrell is known as student-centered design and has been shown to be a creative approach to discovering solutions to complicated situations. This also aims to create a better relationship with Latrell. Developing this authentic relationship aims to counteract the power imbalance Latrell may be feeling in class and aims to provide support that considers all aspects of his life. This strategy also draws on ecological theory, which recognizes that socio-cultural influences such as family, school, and wider communities can affect behavior. In short, these strategies aim to create a positive learning environment for Latrell and target his home and school life, which is a microsystem in his ecology. However, by incorporating Latrell's caregivers, this encompasses his mesosystem. It does so by connecting home and school life. My last strategy to help Latrell is to manage his anxiety. I will give this template to the whole class to fill in. It has, I am worried about what, and they will fill in what they are worried about, what they have done well, possibly in a previous class, what they need to work on. This aims to make students and Latrell aware of their emotions and make them understand they can change throughout our lesson.
After taking on the advice given by Counsellor Sean, I have conducted extensive research into the ecological theory and now understand more about how young adolescents like Latrell are having to deal with numerous external factors that may influence their attitude towards learning. Accordingly, I have taken aspects of classroom management strategies and combined them in a way in which I believe will help build a positive learning experience for Latrell and cater for the diverse needs of his current situation. These include student-directed learning, behaviour management strategies, and research-based methods. Firstly, using aspects of student-directed learning, Latrell will be given the opportunity to use his background knowledge and conduct learning under the influence of his own choice, while still making sure syllabus outcomes are being met. This involves numerous differentiated individual and group activities formulated by an environment where Latrell feels most comfortable in. Evidence suggests that this is a great way for Latrell to show other students how he learns through his own diverse ways, which will also help him build closer relationships with his peers, and therefore he will be less likely to feel the need to verbally bully them. Secondly, using aspects of behaviour management strategies, I will modify Latrell's learning environment by establishing a productive, motivating, and enjoyable classroom space. This includes going out of my way to build a positive relationship with Latrell himself, being clear when communicating with him, trusting him, and using many accounts of positive reinforcement so Latrell knows exactly what is to be expected of him. This will help increase Latrell's want to be involved in PDHPE theory classes, as he will start to feel that he is absolutely valued and therefore will decrease any ill feelings he may have towards myself or any other students. Finally, I will also implement 2 research methods that were found to be used successfully in Australian schools to help decrease the reoccurrence and impact of bullying. These are the no-blame approach and the method of shared concern. The no-blame approach can be quickly used with groups of students and enlist them in helping students who are victims of bullies to be empowered and to have a happier time at school. The method of shared concern involves individual meetings with each student involved in the bullying, with follow-ups until the issue has been resolved. Both approaches are a great way for Latrell to understand how his actions can have a great impact on other peers' feelings, and teaches students to communicate maturely and look out for one another.
Following our meeting with the other teachers and counsellor, Mr. Payer has suggested to use the ecological model as a framework to develop strategies to handle problems Latrell is facing internally within the classroom and externally in his personal life. In researching the model, it's highlighted that as a teacher, I am part of Latrell's macro system, which means I play a vital role in his adolescent physical and cognitive development. Therefore, developing a student-centered, individualized pedagogy, which is adaptable and understanding towards Latrell's needs and perspectives, is important so he feels appreciated and accepted within the classroom. By doing this, it will also create a quality learning environment where Latrell feels what he is doing and learning is important towards his own self-development. Research also indicates that as a teacher, I should be setting appropriate standards in how I interact with other students to possibly entice Latrell to make positive future choices when communicating and listening to his peers. In terms of Latrell's lack of food and clothing, I have set up for Latrell to get a new set of clothes for school from the uniform shop and organised a meeting with Latrell's parent or guardian to discuss a meal plan that is suitable for their budget. If this isn't possible, I will follow up for any assistance the school can give in that area within the canteen and other food services. It is hoped that these strategies will be useful and beneficial towards handling Latrell's issues.
G'day guys, just wanting to check in and see how our interventions have been going with Latrell.
So from doing research into the ecological model and strategies, I found that it's beneficial to build a quality learning environment. So from that, I try to individualize my pedagogy to cater towards Latrell by listening to him, getting his perspective and getting him involved. And I found that helped his self-esteem and attitude towards the lesson. In terms of his anxiety, I referred to Mr. Payer about meeting with him once a week to discuss how Latrell's going in class and any symptoms that I'm seeing. And also in terms of the societal element of the module, I've sorted out getting clothes for Latrell, so a new set of school clothes. And in terms of his not having food in class, I organised a meeting with his parent or guardian, and I found out he's got a single mum with low income, so I've suggested a cheap meal plan to fit their budget.
So I also conducted a one-on-one interview with Latrell. The one-on-one interview with Latrell went well, and he was able to voice his opinion. As a result, he was less disruptive in the following 2 lessons. He responded well by listening and writing in his book. After the second interview with Latrell's caregivers, we were able to discuss more text in which I could use. Latrell responded positively to this idea and learning more about Indigenous culture. After 2 weeks of incorporating these texts in class, I've noticed Latrell is more engaged. When I introduced anxiety cards, Latrell was hesitant at first to fill them out. However, after filling these out, he now is more engaged in class. Furthermore, Latrell has approached me and told me he is excited about learning these texts. So overall, the strategies are working so far.
As Latrell's PDHPE teacher, taking on the advice of Counsellor Sean, I've dived into some research into ecological theory and understand that Latrell's problems may not always be personal. His frustrations and short fuse may be an extension of worrying outside influences. Knowing this, I have come up with a teaching and learning plan that involves aspects of academic literature and a combination of classroom management theories, which includes student-directed learning, behaviour management theories, to help enhance Latrell's learning and his want to learn. Over the past 2 weeks, Latrell has adapted well to this new teaching plan. Latrell has seemed to be more actively involved in student classroom tasks and discussions, and has found new friends and is seen to have a warmer approach to learning.
Well, guys, it's lovely to hear that Latrell's responding well to your classroom management theories. It's good to hear that Latrell is making some progress in classes, and let's hope that this progress continues.